Tell you what, it must be kind of good to be a blue blood. Well, I was listening to that conversation. Where was that conversation like 2, 3 weeks ago? When we was looking for about a month ago. We was just looking for content, something to create, something for y'all to do in the barbershop. Wasn't there? What's up, little baby? What's up, Marvin? Look, thank you. Look, camp has started, and my elder barge folks. I love it, y'all. Hey, if y'all know, we've been kind of doing a little season series. We'll recap next on Thursday. Lord, I almost said next week. We'll recap on Thursday, but we're gonna talk about that last big game, and we're also going, talk about this new administration a little bit. Nothing crazy. Promise you, I'm not gonna get nobody in trouble. And I will be forthright and transparent with y'all. I've definitely tried to reach out to see if we can get President Johnson on the show. So just reaching out, just being honest, because y'all already know what's up, what it's always gonna be. It's about to be Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings and salutations. Sorry, excuse me for multitasking. I forgot to put something in the on the slide deck, but I'll add it. Yeah, I know me. I don't mind working on the fly and moving and pivoting, man. But this one today, it's about that one game that they told you can't lose because you can't lose. This is that. This is about the big Florida Classic, as some of y'all like to call it. Well, it's a classic ending and a non-traditional beginning. So, yeah, that was a little tongue-in-cheek, a little backhanded comment. Nothing crazy though. So we're gonna talk about the classic. Also gonna talk about this new president y'all got. First couple days. I see how some of y'all done already started. Some of y'all on that stuff. I've been behaving. I know for me, I can't speak for all y'all, but I know for Keith, I would definitely like to just, keep it a bean at all times, man. So what's up, Gail? Little baby say, y'all. Oh. So, but yeah, if y'all haven't seen a lot of what we're getting right now, I ain't gonna lie to you. And I understand why we don't get it more during the season, just because you really can't give us some of that stuff as far as like content. Like, shout out to the crew over there. I will say, my personal media credentials need you to update because it ain't got the football season up there right now. It's just got stuff up there. So, yeah, go on add that. Fix that for a brother right fast. Do it for the people in the front because I'm definitely not in the back. But yeah, man, FAMU basketball, I'm excited about that. Rattler Boosters, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was supposed to go to the jazz brunch yesterday. One, overslept, but two, we had extra kids in the house, so I do have to apologize. But Orlando had a great time, as we always do. But I missed it. We had extra kid in the house, and it was just me. And we don't like leaving no adult supervision at the house. So, but the Rattler Boosters, steady doing some work. So, I'm here for it. Y'all already know how I feel about Rattler Boosters. I'm a fan and a supporter, largely because I was a Rattler Booster before I was a lot of things. So when it comes to Rattler Boosters, they continuously have a little soft spot in my heart. And it's probably gonna stay like that for a minute. We are in talks. Y'all know I like to keep it a beam with y'all. Thinking about doing that life membership for Rattler Boosters. So don't be surprised if you kind of hear me encourage you to do it. It's not something I'm selling you that I'm not doing myself. I'm actually looking at joining Rattler Boosters myself and renewing and doing the life membership level. So, yeah. Make that Shannon Sharp sound. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Probably going to do that. And here we go. I'm just doing this the lazy people way. So excuse me. There's a right way of doing it. There's a wrong way of doing it. And then there's a way I'm about to do it. And I'm about to do it kind of in between because I'm tired of fighting with it. So, but Rattler Boosters do have some really awesome things that they are trying to do. They got me with the life membership thing though. Somebody, Zach Ansley, he was like, "How much have you spent on Rattler Boosters?" And I was like, "In my lifetime or in these past couple years?" Because if we talking lifetime, and Rattler Boosters didn't hit me up for more than enough for life membership. But if we talking these past couple years, y'all done got me for a couple hundred. So there we go. I fixed it. Yeah. Look, I told y'all there's a right way to do it. There's a wrong way to do it. And there's a way I'm about to do it. So there we go. Not a great podcast, but I'm not looking at the screen, but it is what it is. Also, just looking out. Look, if you are so inclined, August the 22nd, it's a Friday night. My favorite baseball team, the Tampa Bay Rays, play the St. Louis Cardinals. Enjoy a fun night filled with fun, family, and we're going to celebrate, have a little good time, and support FAMU wins with the Tampa Bay Rays at the same time. So it's only $79. So I'm going to tell you honest, if you buy the tickets directly from the Rays, it's like $60. So for extra $15, you get all you can eat and you get the hats. I'm just saying, you're going to spend more than $15 at the Rays on food. And last time I went to a Rays game, I spent $3 on peanuts. So hit up Mike, 813-240-311-16. If you do and use it through me, send them promo code Fangs up. What we will do is if Mike sends any funds, those will go towards the track program. So just want to make sure y'all know about that. And for those who don't know, if you haven't heard, I don't know if I can share this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Y'all know we're doing a little campaign for a certain family athlete. What's up, Tamara T? He's not done yet. Kurt Dawkins is coming back, so we will be working with Kurt. We're also going to be working with the FAMU track team. So look for Kurt to be here. As far as, we're going to work some stuff out, get him to do a little promoting. But all of those funds that were donated are going to him and the other track athletes. So we're looking at him and, maybe a couple other student athletes. But what we're going to do for the Fangs Up podcast, we're going to adopt the track program. So we're going to have our, ask y'all to donate, ask y'all to give. And, much like Rick Kinsey just did for the golf program, we are going to try to set that goal for the track program. So the track program will be our baby. So if you haven't heard yet, if I'm breaking news, sorry, but I did talk to Coach last week. He called me. I was at work. I was in my classroom. Let's get my room set up. Sorry, I got to trim some boards in my room. Yeah, anyways, I did the paper boards this year. Normally I do cloth, but I ain't feel like taking stuff down this year. We not there for a long time. We there for a good time. But yeah, so Kirk Dawkins will be coming back. If you ever hear, if you hear something different, that means something else changed. But if it's breaking news, it's breaking news. But Kirk is coming back, and we will be adopting the track program. So we're going to work with the OSG Strike Zone, also the Fang Exchange. So all the funds, they don't come to my pocket. Unless it's something that you get through Mike Road Dog and he sends me a little blessing for you using promo code Fangs Up, then whatever comes that way, we'll donate some of that. I should have, yeah, we're gonna donate some of that to the track team, so that way we continue to push that. But that's gonna be our baby. So the track team, as long as we have a relationship with Coach Ellenwood, we will definitely be working that. So that's gonna be our baby. I will challenge the OSG Strike Zone. Pick a team. So pick a team. Join me also in supporting the track team, or pick another team that you want to support and that you want our alumni to support. And all these funds, I will tell y'all the truth, they do get funneled through the Fangs Exchange. So they are the ones that do collect the funds and distribute the funds. I'm really a mouthpiece because I don't like touching people's money. So, because in the words of a FAMU rattler, Dr. Jamal Nicholas, who is the band director of bands at Tuskegee University, but a graduate of Florida A&M University. Once it hits my hands, it's clean money. So if it never hits my hands, then it's never a problem. So yeah. So I don't know all of that, but yes. Okay. Add the code for donation to track team. Hey, I will get that back up here. It's on the computer, so we will definitely get it back going. We're gonna keep running it up there. And yeah, so we ask that you continue to support though. So yeah, man, I might make that baseball game. If I can, I will. We'll see what the Lord says. IYK to the person who knows what that means. But also, if you missed round one with St. Clair Moraine, we had Coach Cozy on there. Great conversation. I don't have the recording. It's Halloween 95. Yeah, look, I'm just co-host. It's not my show, but I'm the co-host. Now, I will say, I like these, but we got to work on some of the colors. But y'all know Nayron is my selected favorite football player for this year. Last year, it was Kendall. I was a huge fan of Junior, largely because local kid, man. Not local as far as Tallahassee, but for me, the area I work in and where I live, local to that area. Same thing, Kendall Bowler, and Kendall just happens to be a member of the, a certain organization. But this year, my favorite player, I'm gonna start with Nayron. Nayron, I got pictures of Nayron at the Celebration Bowl. So back before he was Nayron. So this year, I'm telling y'all right now, 45. That's what guy. Any person who wears number 7, you already know 7 and 3 and 22. I'm always gonna be partial to those numbers, but Nayron's gonna be my favorite athlete for most of the year. So we're gonna try to get him back on. Got to reach out to Driscoll again, but try to get Nayron on the show. My selected favorite player. So now for the Big Florida Classic, and we talked about all the other sports. Again, basketball's been doing videos. Those are tight. I ain't gonna hold you. Like whoever's doing the videos for basketball, appreciate it, especially for women's basketball. Men's basketball, I need that because I'm starting to see a little bit of personality out of Charlie. Like, okay, women's basketball, I need it because it gives you a little bit of hope. I really think if this team could come together, you can finish in the top half of the SWAC. You need to, but you can finish the top half of the SWAC. The women are coming down to Orlando again. The men are going over to Tampa. So I've been over there. If you haven't been to the Yuengling Center, I've been there in a press role. I've been there in a working press role, and I've never gone there as a fan, but it's an okay setup. Like last time I went for a FAMU basketball, I was late, but so yeah, I got to get that date. That might be a boys trip weekend that weekend. So bro, Hulk, you on the clock. Anyways, I done throw a bunch of shots at bro Hulk. He could be looking at me like, really, dog? Anyways, the Florida Classic. It's the end of the football season for the most part. And I mean, unless there's a Celebration Bowl, postseason, something like that, it's the end of the season. And let me get y'all comments right. Sorry about that. And it's a huge financial boost. To be honest with y'all, it's a rivalry. It's not nasty with the younger generation. Now the older generation, oh, that hatred for Cookman is real. And now with the younger generation, hey, I ain't gonna hold you. It's kind of like, especially with us dudes, it's kind of like Trey Songz. This Mr. Steal Your Girl. Like, don't bring your Cookman girl over here around us FAMU dudes. We might steal your woman. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's really becomes it's jovial, it's funny, it's sibling rivalry a lot of times. But in this game, honestly, yeah. Look, the older generation called him by the name BCC. They call him BCC in a second. But with this one, the interesting thing for Cookman, honestly, this is another one where there gonna be questions about this one. Like I said, that's about Arkansas Pine Bluff. Cookman ain't too far off as far as what's going to be the coaching situation. Now, I can't recall the last time Cookman just fired a coach before the end of the season. Normally, the way they normally do, you kind of ride that thing out to the end of the year. This is a make or break season for them, though. This is one of those years where Bethune-Cookman has to get out of the cellar of the SWAC. Like, if you are one of the bottom 3 teams in this conference and you're Bethune-Cookman University, it's a problem. Like, I'm just saying. And look, Gail says Nero is my favorite from this year, too. The only football player who attended a screening of Bob Hayes. Okay. I love that. Man, Neyron's just cool dude. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, just in general, like real humble. He's approachable. He's very approachable. I love it. But if you're Cookman, you got to win. I'm not saying you got to win the SWAC, but this is another team where, as a program, it's either him or Hall, right? And I had to PC myself on that one because I was about to say you either this or get off the pot, and it wasn't the S word though. But in football, it's either you're going to be a team that plays football that has a really good band, or you're going to be a team that's competitive of football that has a really good band. But you're not going to be both. Like, and what we've seen from Cookman, you've lost a lot of the arms race. Facilities wise, actually, they football facilities, if they were kept up football wise, not terrible. The basketball arena, the gym, it's a high school gym. Respectfully, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be really like that today. But football wise, they have a few things. Not a lot, but they got a practice field, decent gym, like workout gym, the basketball gym. No. So, and they don't have a stadium. They share with the city. The city pretty much lets them use the stadium for, what they do. But it's at that place. If you are Cookman, we are now getting to a place where you're in an arms race, and can you compete? Like, can you compete in athletics with the Southerns? Where I don't know if y'all just saw, and shout out to BJ Jones, what they're doing HBCU nightly and everything like that. But did y'all see the Dewfield Southern just did? Like, Southern's quietly doing a good job maintaining their facilities. Are you able to compete with Jackson State, who built new facilities under the Prime era? Like, heck, are you able to compete with FAMU, where, okay, despite the bathrooms and brag, that's a new stadium. Don't let nobody tell you different. That tells me they ain't been on. Never mind. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. So, can you compete with those schools who are the top of the conference? Can you compete with Alabama State? New football stadium on campus, probably some of the best facilities in the conference. Can you compete with Alabama A&M? So again, when we start talking about just facilities wise and just what you're offering in the student experience and everything else, can you compete with your conference counterparts that are the top half of the conference? And a lot of times, the answer is not really. So then we come over and flip this over to the athletic field. Can you compete with what FAMU's doing with the Fangs Exchange? Can you compete with what Jackson State is doing with their NIL program? What other schools in the conference, Alabama A&M? And you start getting to the place where, what are you going to be? And if you're going to be that, are you okay with losing? And I think if you're a Cookmanite, that's a real question. Like, that's not me trying to be, y'all notice, ain't none of this where I presented something that was opinionated in a way that was disparaging to Bethune-Cookman. Everything I said is stuff that you could look at yourself. Pull up the data. Y'all know, Keith, I stand on data. Like, data numbers. Mention data numbers. Appreciate y'all prayers. I did pass the Feely. I'm waiting on the writing portion. So, but the reason we didn't have the show Thursday, because I did an 8-hour test. And I ain't gonna brag, but a brother studied. Brother called people and asked questions. I finished that testing without the breaks about 3.5 hours. I'll put a whooping on that feeling. But I digress. So just want to make sure I let y'all know we canceled the show, but we brought back the results. So once we get the writing scope, hey, but for real though, like, back on topic. Sorry, that's a real question. So in this game here, we're seeing that Bethune-Cookman is not a football school anymore. Now baseball, you got some, and where are they winning championships right now? Baseball, like, you can't be great at everything. You just don't have the economic resources to do that. So in this case, if we talk about the Florida Classic, this is a game you're not going to be great in, and unless you get amazing players, you got to get some of those Jimmys and Joes, because all the X's and O's aren't fixing the problem. And we saw last year in the Classic, they had one. That running back, Buddy carried them. And still, FAMU won that game. So, and he transfers out. And so you're also seeing the other side of that. Cookman was a victim of the transfer portal. And let's call it a spade a spade. Cookman's been a victim of the transfer portal for the past couple years, where their best players, they ain't always leaving Cookman to go to Florida State or Troy. Cookman's best players, sometimes they come on up to Tallahassee and come to FAMU. We got another one of their linemen on the roster right now. Transferred to Jackson State, came on down to FAMU, but he started at Cookman. What was that, Marcus Riley? Right? Was toe up. Was it doing some work at Cookman? Came over to FAMU though. Hey, got you a SWAC championship. Like, I'm just saying, the reason for them being a victim, you got to do something. Now, I will say, one thing I do like about Cookman, I like that new president. I don't know if he's going to bring the change that they ultimately need, and that those of us who genuinely care about HBCUs, I can't say I care about Cookman that much, but I care about historically black colleges and universities. Can he be the change? Can he be the person that brings about that? We're going to see, especially when you look at what we got going on. That's a real question. Like, so in this game, though, let's not belabor the point. Every position, FAMU has the upper hand. Like, that's not even being like mean about it. But when we start looking at, just look at the transfer portal. What did FAMU bring in? What did Cookman bring in? Cookman brought in some talent. They did. I ain't saying the boys ain't talented, but I'm saying in every measurable major area, the thing you start seeing that's a difference between FAMU and Bethune-Cookman is depth. Now, the secret, and I'm just going to give y'all, look, let's give y'all the secret to the sauce. If you're Cookman, The way you do this, you have to grow your program through high school players. You got to build your program that way because the transfer portal is not going to be your thing. You just don't have the resources. So, because what's going to happen is when you get players that come to FAMU, that go to Alabama State, that go to Alabama A&M, even Southern and Jackson State, they look around at campus, then they go back to Cookman, and they're like, okay, nah, this, They go to the football game at the high school stadium, then they play at pretty much everybody else's stadium in SWAC, and they're like, this ain't it. Like, and look, there you go, little baby. They get the talent and they lose it. They get these kids, freshman, sophomore year, they come there, have a decent year. It's not as bad as Valley, but them boys transferring out. And we have the same problem at FAMU, but you're seeing more attrition for those schools like that. So when we're looking at this game, is it going to be close? Probably. Depending on what the quarterback look like. Now, I ain't going to lie. Look, I got to watch it. It's Arizona today. Green tea. Trying to do better, especially with my caffeine intake. So, but it's Arizona green tea. It's all right, But if what we hear is true, it's gonna be a jet at FAMU, a quarterback. Look, I'm gonna leave y'all with that, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But it's quarterback competition. But no, it's gonna be close. It's only close last year because of defense. Look, yeah, because let's be honest, we could have won that game. Yeah, we could have won that game. We gave up some plays last year. We left some plays on the field. But I will say, when you look at every position, FAMU has a depth advantage. And one of the things that FAMU has, FAMU, Jackson State, maybe Southern, have that a lot of schools don't have in the SWAC, is a depth advantage. Look at FAMU's turning players away, right? We've seen where you just had a kicker that, a month or two ago, I was like, hey, yo, we got a kicker. And now he's like, hey, I'm back in the portal. It's like they are turning away players. And other schools are like, yeah, we'll take him. Yeah, come on this way. We got that. We FAMU is at a place depth-wise where it's FAMU and Jackson State. And I think when you get to this point of the season, especially considering how physical this game is going to be, because it is a rivalry. The players get into it a bit, but probably not as much as those fans do. But they do understand. They understand that it's important. I don't know if they get into it like we did. When we was kind of young, FAMU Cookman, I think it meant a little something different to that generation. It means something to the old generation. Not saying it doesn't matter to the kids, though. But I definitely think when you're looking at today's players, these kids, and I'm old enough to say kids, a little gray in this beard, even though I can cut it out all I want. It's going to come back. They get the magnitude of the rivalry, right? They also get the spotlight they're on, where they're at. You're in the Citrus Bowl is the fifth or sixth largest stadium in the state, right? If you're FAMU, a FAMU football player, two of your games, are in the top 5 largest stadiums in the state. So there's a little something there, football-wise. I don't include the track in Daytona. The players get it. And I think by this point in the season, though, yeah, you could throw all this stuff out the window, and that sounds like a really good tagline. But the truth is that FAMU's got more depth. Not just saying that the talent is better across the board, which I do think in most positions we're better. I think at quarterback, that's kind of tight, but I think quarterback, you're better. I think at running back, you're better. I think receiver could be a push, especially if what I'm hearing about who, was going to be my favorite player and is my second favorite player is true by Ace. They said Ace might not play this year. I'm sad. But I'll be okay. Tight end wise, FAMU all day. Twice on Sundays. Offensive line wise, FAMU. Defensive line, FAMU. Linebacker wise, hey, y'all know 45 up. I got to look. I'm on this hype train right now. I'm on the hype train. 45 is up. FAMU linebackers are deep. No Diddy. The secondary is my only real question mark. Like, if I'm being honest, for the Florida Classic, the secondary is my only real question. I think FAMU wins. I think especially the second year in the Burrs is huge. And I really think that for that game in particular, and I can't hear myself, somebody's calling. That's why I don't really use the phone for it. I use the computer a lot of times. I think FAMU wins pretty close. And I said close. I think it's close up to halftime. I think at the halftime, it's a wrap. Like, it's a riggedy wrap. I think some B2A is going to be applied to this game. Give me 54. Ooh, 52. I don't know. Look, 54 is a weird number. Give me 52 to 17. I think FAMU applies B2A. I think it's a complete blowout. Like, I don't think it's close. Part of that is because I personally believe that when it comes to the game itself, I think FAMU's going to win, but I think FAMU's got better talent. Like, that's just me being honest. Like, I could easily see this being their coach's last game. And if it's your last game, it is your last game. But I also feel like when we're talking about just that grand scheme of things like that, I think that's a part to play in it. That's why I said what I said about Pine Bluff. I think these are your two coaches in the SWAC that are on the hot seat. I think Arkansas Pine Bluff, year 3, I believe, for him, hot seat year for him. And you're in a can't win position. So I feel like for him, it's double size at Pine Bluff because you have the restrictions, just the academics or whatnot. And then you double that down with the fact that you're not really near a talent base. The closest talent base you have is Texas, as far as Texas, Louisiana. That's where you're going to get your players. Texas, Louisiana, maybe Alabama, Mississippi. So, but that's my personal opinion on that. I don't know what happened. Here we go. I will say with Cookman, it's something similar. You just don't have the Jimmys and the Joes, but you also have the resources. Like, you don't have the resources to compete. I think by this point in the season, man, it's a wrap. So I got 52-17 for the Florida Classic. FAMU has a winning season, if you ask me. I think if you have the winning season with the schedule you have, you're a playoff contender. But we got to see what happens at Jackson, too. Like, Alabama A&M definitely took a hit. I don't know if y'all saw that quarterback that transferred out of UAPB up out the paint. So what are they going to do with quarterback now? Definite, huge question now. Like, FAMU, I think we got a quarterback. Just being honest. From what I'm hearing, I think we got a quarterback. If you caught the show at round 1 with St. Clair Moraine and myself, Coach Cosley already said, hey, we're going to announce quarterback pretty early. So ain't going to be all this waiting. We about to announce quarterbacks. So I'm going to give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks, you should have a quarterback. You should know. I'm just going to leave it there. Now, we're going to get into a little good trouble. Y'all saw y'all president drop that announcement. And just full transparency, I reached out to some people that know her to see if we could get her on the show. So, but I'm going to still be honest. I'm going to still be me. So if we can secure President Johnson, I will ask for you to submit some questions. Y'all know I'm gonna screen questions. I'll be fair. Just how we did with the presidential search, you couldn't tell who I was pushing, except for Chuck, and who I wasn't pushing. Look, Chuck Lewis, my dean of pledges. It's a different kind of relationship, man. But I will say, we probably had the comments on the side off, and I appreciate you, little baby, because everybody won't be like that. But we will have them up so they can be seen. So if we can have her on. So just want to make sure y'all know President Marva Johnson is invited to the show. Partially because, and she has a PR person. I'll be honest with that. You know, I know that too. Somebody told me that. I wouldn't hire her. Like, whoever is giving you PR advice, trash. Like, I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to be mean to that person, but I know y'all saw where they had the thing and they had to turn off the comments. You knew it was going to be hot. You knew the paint was going to be hot. And you threw her to the wolves like that. Like, I'm sorry. I'm one of those. And it ain't because her husband's frat. That's just in general. And I'll be honest with y'all. I've met her husband before. I talked to that dude for hours. Didn't know. And I was like, that's her husband? I was like, oh, he's cool as heck. Like, bruh's great conversation. Like, he's solid people. I just don't know her. Like, I hate to tell y'all, look, Keith don't do, I'm not the no new friends guy, but I'll be real with you if I don't know you. I don't know him like that. But I've talked to him in like 2-3 hours and put in work and been real cordial. So, so full disclosure, I even said, hey, I'd like to talk to him first. I'm old. I believe, hey, I'm gonna talk to the man. But so we can get her on, we'll welcome her on. But I'll say this. Okay. My dad doesn't like me to say pink Africans. So I'm gonna say it like it is. I'm gonna make it plain. Stop having white people go and tell us Democrat and tell us black people what's best for us. Stop it. It's not a thing. Because that goes back to the resentment that we have and that some people have for you being here. It's not that, you know, and I told my boy, I don't dislike her. I don't know her to dislike her. Give me a reason to dislike you, and I'll dislike you. Like, I'll tell y'all real quick, if I really don't like you, I won't talk to you. I will ignore you. I really embrace my faith. And with me understanding my faith, I'm woke. I understand the Bible. I also understand where the Bible comes from, all that good stuff. I do understand it. There, if you go back to certain textbooks, your religious textbook that was before the Bible, it's not really a hell. There's more of for them, a version of hell was being separate from God. The separation of God from God was their hell. And so for me, when I say to hell with you personally, I'm separate from you. I don't talk to you. I won't walk past you and not address you. I'll say, what's up? How you doing? Dap you up. I'll greet you and I'll be professional and cordial. That's about all you're going to get from me, though. They won't be like, oh, hey, how you doing? How's the family? Da-da-da. It's like, what's up? How you doing? All right, good to see you. If that. Like, if I really don't like you, I ain't going to say nothing. But if I see you, I'll address you. I ain't going to be that kind of disrespectful. But if I really don't like you, I won't talk to you. And in this case, stop talking. Like, stop talking and giving us the PR campaign and put in the damn work. That's all I need. Put in work. Like, and that's not frat. That's just in general. Put in the work. Because the statements and the comments are about how you are or aren't qualified. I can understand that. Again, I got a master's degree in education leadership. That's not me trying to grandstand. That's just the facts. I just told y'all, hey, I just passed the test for the state. Like, I got my credentials. I worked at Florida State in financial aid. I worked at FAMU. I worked at elementary. I worked middle. I worked high school. I've cut my teeth. I have experience, right? In classroom, after school, out of classroom. Do the work. Like, and report when you do work. Like, don't just do work and put your head down and, well, this is what I'm doing and I'm just doing, and don't tell. No. Do work, but when you finish doing some work, bring me a trophy. Like, show your work. Stop trying to tell us your theory and your what they've sold us, and show us what you did. That's the best way to win us over. Because as much as, and I said this, and I was in earshot of her husband. Y'all keep throwing TK Weatherall up. TK Weatherall is a Seminole. You're not a Rattler. Period. You're a Rattler because you work at FAMU. But as far as having an intimate knowledge of the university, the people, the culture, you're not there. In order to get there, had an open door policy you talk about. But don't just have an open door, because now you have to invite some of the community in and come into our spaces and come to the safe spaces. Social media is not a safe space. I don't, that's why I said her PR person is trash, because you are putting her, and this is just me. This is me as a black man. I'm gonna say this as a black man. You are putting a black woman in a space that is unfiltered, unsanctioned, and unprotected in a time when she's not liked. And it's not for anything she did. I can't put on paper and say Marva did this, Marva did that, Marva did this. I can't say that. All I can say is Marva was selected as a president, and we just don't like the selection process. And we don't like the qualifications. I can't directly point to anything Marva, and I don't know why she didn't hyphenate her name like that. Please stop that SHYT. Don't do that. Again, your PR person is failing you. You are in the South. I hate to tell you. I'm from Tallahassee. We are conservative. We Democrats, but we are very conservative black people. And a lot of your older generation you dealing with, we not with the hyphenated names. Like, I ain't gonna tell y'all no lies. I remember any woman I talked to, I was like, hey, I'm just be real with you. If this gonna go somewhere serious, I don't hyphenate names. I'm sorry. That's just me. And you can call me chauvinist. That's fine. But I was upfront with him. It can't be I changed on you. Look, I tell my wife all the time, like, unless you know her by her maiden name, my wife's Hadley. It's not maiden name Hadley. Now, if it is, if you know from somewhere else, I'll be like, oh yeah, maiden name Hadley. And then from there on, I reinforce the last name. First and foremost, as a man and as a Southerner from Tallahassee, stop with the hyphenated name. That your PR person is not reading the culture right, because you're in a Southern culture who doesn't love that. Like, just telling you, your old rattlers, that we don't love that. And that's not how we received you. Be Marva Johnson. That's cool. But just be Marva Johnson. Like, we don't need a hyphenated name Johnson. Again. But on top of that, just do the work. Like, do the work. Do the things they said you were good at. Because I'm being real with y'all, Marva still supports black causes. Look, I ain't gonna tell y'all the name, but I can tell you right now, within my own community, within my group, we see you, Marva. I see you, and I appreciate you. I thank you because you know what? That donation is going to go to support children. Marva's money still goes to Black and brown causes. It do. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna tell you nothing but I told y'all straight up. Hey, Marva supports Black causes. I ain't telling you what somebody told me. I'm telling you what I seen. She does. Do that. Stop telling us the PR stuff that Ron DeSantis is telling us. Secondly, stop mentioning Ron DeSantis. We don't like him. And that's not trying to be funny, but that's being real. Like, you got to read your audience, read the room. And I'm telling you, you look like Stevie Wonder right now. Like, you just up here and just going whatever whoever is telling you to do. Like, why? Like, I'm sorry. This is all I'm getting right now from Marva. Hey, we doing this. No, stop that. Like, I'm just saying, take the glasses off. Like, get in the room, talk to your people, because now you want us. Sorry, you landed on Plymouth Rock, and we here, and a lot of us ain't rocking with you. I'm not gonna say I don't rock with you. I'm saying I'm willing to help you out, but on top of that, I'm willing to give you the game. I'm gonna treat you like an old man. Look, that's an old man do me. Hey, look, young buck, you do what you want to. But if I was you, I'd do this. I love it. And he ain't watching. He probably never gonna watch. We got a deacon at my church called Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson treat me like I'm one of his. To this day. Hey, young man, how you doing? What's up, boy? No, I love you, boy. Hey, how you doing? How that baby doing? You know that's my baby right now. How y'all? Y'all all right? All right. Hey, this is what I need you to do. Do this, do that, do that, do this. All right. And that's he leave it at that. Because why? That's how old men show love. They give you game. They give me game. Hey, Key, come here. Sit right quick, talk to you for a little bit. Give you some game. I'm gonna give you some game. Like, I'm just saying. And little baby says, I didn't know where the hyphen came from myself. It's not here on the paper name. I don't know. I don't know if it's like you're trying to rebrand yourself. Don't do that. Be Marva Johnson. Like, don't rebrand yourself like that. Rebrand yourself through the work. You know what worked with TK Weatherall? TK Weatherall and the other presidents that are non-traditional. You mentioned the lady at USF, excuse me. They came in. Was that TK Weatherall? I forget. Thrasher. John Thrasher. I'm sorry. I said TK. TK was solid. I meant John Thrasher. There we go. John Thrasher. Thrasher was a Seminole. TK was a Seminole too. But Thrasher came in and he wasn't what anybody thought he was going to be. Like, let's be honest. People thought Thrasher was going to turn FSU into a very different culture. FSU is known for being a liberal place. Like, academically, they are very liberal. He didn't do that. He just came in. He did the work. He raised funds for Florida State. He protected Florida State. He did some really good things for that university. Like, I believe while Thrasher was there, did they get that $1 billion? Like, I think they did $1 billion campaign near the end of his presidency. Like, don't sell me what other people did for their universities when you're not one of us and you haven't done it for my university. Welcome to FAMU. Show us your work. You can have the comments on or off all the social media for all I care. I could have told you that it was going to be rough. Like, honestly, I did. Anybody's watched Fangs up. I told y'all, Oh, game 1? It ain't even 0-0 on the clock. Game ain't started. The 100 ain't walked off the field. Boo! You know what's coming. I ain't gonna do it. Look, I'm trying to act right. I'm trying to keep my credentials. I want you to be cool with me. But you know you're getting booed. I done told you. Hey, look. Like you get like flies. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't walk in that field. Don't do it. If you don't want to get booed and you don't want to get bullied, because we bullies. We bullies. They're gonna talk about your hair, they're gonna talk about your lips, they're gonna talk about your weight, and they're gonna talk about your shade of green on your outfit. I'm telling you right now. And if you wear the wrong pair of shoes too many times, they're gonna talk about shoes. Why? How do I know this? It's not because I'm black. It's because I'm a rattler. And I seen it. They talked about who was it? Let's go. We can go in line. How about that? Tiffany Dawn Sykes. Boy, y'all ragged that lady about them shoes. Y'all was tired of her wearing the same shoes over and over again. Y'all talk about her weight. Y'all know she done lost some weight. Shout out. Like, Tiffany Dawn Sykes done lost some weight now. Y'all ragging about her weight. Y'all ragging about the green dress she was wearing. Okay. Yeah, that's just one, right? No. I got more. Look, I got time today. I'm petty. I got time today. Amara Mango. Y'all talk about that lady hell. Y'all talk about how she was not very personal. Y'all like, we're gonna talk about you. Castell. Y'all said, Castell like girls. Yeah, call her, all kind of stuff. Look, family people, we're gonna crack on you. The jokes are coming, especially if we don't like you. And I'm sorry, even if we do like you, you're gonna catch jokes. Like, the biggest gift that Larry Robinson gave to people, he leaned into the jokes. Like, y'all was ragging Larry, talking about he was aloof. He didn't know what was going on. Okay. Larry said, bump it. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna act like an old man. Larry started acting like your old granddaddy. Like, Larry started leaning into it. Like, go back and watch the Larry Robinson era. Larry leaned to being an unk. Like, Larry was unk. And he was grand unk. He went up there, had a little hunch in his back, talking, joking. And at the very end, Larry was having fun with it. Remember that last Florida Classic? Larry came out there with a box of rolls. Keith Miles and the crew. He got the squad. Larry was being an unk, but he leaned into it. Ammons leaned into it a little bit till he couldn't. He said, sorry. Gaines, like, the best FAMU presidents. Look, to this day, Frederick Humphrey is dead and gone. We laugh and joke about him being drunk all the time. And his jokes is fun. He used to, a little nibble every once in a while. But he leaned into it. But guess what? He also brought us stuff. He brought us accolades. Princeton College of the Year. Larry brought money. Like, lean into it. Like, okay, y'all call me a witch. Guess what? You can have a football game on Halloween. I'm saying the outfit is there. You can just put on a witch hat and just rock with it. Hey, lead with it, have fun with it, meet with the kids, get them involved. Like, lean somewhat into what they're saying about you and make fun of it. Because, and I'm with you, Marvin. Look, I told y'all, I reached out. I said, hey, we need to invite her over. And matter of fact, I'll be honest with y'all. I've even said she needs to come here. She needs to come to ONG Strike Zone. Why? These are FAMU places. Come to us. Talk to us. Don't give me the interview. Like I told y'all, stop going to the Democrat. Y'all know. Black people know. Y'all call it the Dixie crack. Look, outside of Gerald and that the black girl, y'all don't rock with a Democrat like that. not for FAMU stuff. Like, and that's not me trying to be mean. That's just being real. If I'm gonna really get something about FAMU and I wanted to be kind of unbiased, I'm probably gonna go to Channel 6. WCTV, you earn my trust. WTXL, meh, maybe. HBCU Game Day, it depends who writes it. Did Vaughn write it? Cool. Did Stephen J. Gaither write it? Maybe. Just saying, it depends who writes it. And it depends on the space you're in. Come the Fangs up. I ain't trying to just pitch myself. I ain't the end all be all. But what I'm saying is, come to our spaces. Have scripted conversations. I'll be real with y'all. If it's a new friend, or I'm a little on the fence, I'll send the questions out. I'll say, hey, these are the questions I'm asking you. Da da da. Be ready. And then that way, it's two things. One, you can trust me. These are the questions. I may throw in a outlier question, but it's not going to be something to hurt your feelings. But secondly, come to where we are, because then you can say, oh yeah, I went on the ONG strike zone. Okay. I went on Fangs Up. Okay. I went to where the people were. I had this person come to my office, because then when you're doing your 90-day report, you're showing you went to our spaces, but starting the safe spaces. Don't just be out there. Social media is outside. Look, that part. Don't be Tiffany and not be genuine. Like, I tell y'all straight up, AD Sykes was really personable in person. Outside of that, just saying. Man, bruh, that's what I'm saying. I watched that interview. You gotta cut your teeth. I'm not the greatest interviewer. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not a trained media guy, but I'm solid. Like, I'm definitely better than what I used to be. I remember, look, first time I kind of talking to Willie, it was a lot of like, all right, we in the press box. I tell you, I used to write out every question. Like, I actually love writing. I would write out every question. I would vet my questions 17 times over. And by the time I got there, I was making sure it was perfect. Now it's like, hey, all right, the questions are ready. Like, I can kind of spin and go. And I can have more back and forth, where now it's like, I can't have back and forth with you. And it's like, I really can't. Go back and watch the post game where Dion responded to me. I had no backup because I was mad. Like, I was like, you got this. I don't even want to talk to you because I'm going to say something and I'm not going to win this battle. Now, all right, coach, follow-up question. Because I can move on from that. With this, stop giving us scripted stuff that, as Marvin's saying, looks like you're reading from a cue card. You got to personalize yourself. I ain't gonna lie. Tell us why you didn't go to HBCU. And for me, that's not a knock on you. HBCUs ain't for everybody. If you got a better opportunity somewhere else, go there. I went to one HBCU. I had 3 degrees. I went to TCC. Now it's Tallahassee State. I went to FAMU. I went to National Louis. If I get my PhD, unless an HBCU's got something I can do online, it probably won't be an HBCU. But that's fine. Because, hey, but tell us your story. We need to meet Marva. I don't need to meet Juris Dr. Marva Brown Johnson. I don't need that. I need to meet Marva. Because the best FAMU presidents, go back. We first name basis. Like, okay, Dr. Humphreys is Dr. Humphreys. You wouldn't call him no, but he was Dr. Humphreys. And you knew he had a relationship and it carried weight. Larry, like, he was Dr. Robinson, but to the point we were like, and that's on Larry. Like, and that was our thing. Larry built a relationship with the kids. You can't doubt. You can say whatever you want with him in the football program. Larry Johnson had a relationship and a connection to those kids. Just saying. Like, Fred Gaines, another one. Great relationship. Like, Ammons. You start looking at these, I almost said professors, and some of them are professors. Look at these presidents. They had a relationship. They built a relationship, and it was organic because we knew some of their backstory. You knew Dr. Humphrey's backstory. You knew he was over there from Apalachicola area, kind of, local guy, goes Tennessee State and FAMU, but always had that connection, right? You knew with Larry, you knew his connection to FAMU. You knew he was from Memphis and he was kind of in the boxing. And, especially once later on his tenure, we really got to meet and know who Larry was. We ain't know Marva. Okay. Why'd you go to Georgetown? What made Georgetown special for you? Cool. Okay. Why'd you join? Why'd you become an AKA? Why was that the right sorority for you? Like, why did you become a lawyer? I don't need to know why you're a Republican. I really don't care about that. Why FAMU? What are you going to do for FAMU? See how those 4 questions structured? You can have all the answers. They can be very scripted answers, but all of a sudden, in those 4 questions, you've humanized yourself to where now you're somebody that I recognize and I can talk to. Okay. So what are you going to do to protect FAMU? Because we get it. We know who the governor is. We know what the board of trustees is. We know what the board of governors is. All that being said, what you going to do to protect Mother FAMU? Because I can guarantee you, if you do it wrong, there will be hell to pay. And it's not a personal attack, but it's got to be a place where you can talk to us and not have a security team around you. Because if every time you go in places, you backed up and have a bunch of security around you, then you never were comfortable around us. And in turn, you were never one of us. You were just here. And not saying you shouldn't have security there. You should definitely have security there. Like, you need FAMU PD was never far away from the president. I'll tell y'all that now. But it should be a place where you shouldn't have to have Debo next to you. You should have to have, hey, oh yeah, that's Joe over there, man. He do detail for Marva. Marva good. We need that because we need to get to know you the way your friends know you. Because I'll be honest with y'all, the only reason I'm kind of halfway like, okay, give Marva a shot is because I know somebody that's like, bro, give her a shot. She's actually good people. Like, because I realized, I ain't gonna lie, last week, I was like, that's her husband? Oh, he's cool as hell. Okay. But it's because I know people that know her. That's why I can give her a chance. Otherwise, I'm with y'all. Because I don't know these people in these articles. I don't know these people that you grew up with. And I don't see where many have connections to FAMU. So now you got to ingratiate yourself. Because I promise you, if all you do is set up a barrier and a parameter that protects you from us, because we already know, especially certain community, I wouldn't be surprised if Doug Jolly wins. I'll say that now. And y'all already heard what Doug Jolly said about these presidential appointees that Ron DeSantis made. He pretty much said he's getting rid of all of them. Go back and watch it. It ain't, look, you ain't got to believe nothing Keith says. That's on YouTube. That video is up there. Like, I'm just saying, we know the board of trustees is. Look, I heard a little something that has me laser focused on the board more than her. Hey, I'm watching Lawson, and that's on Marvel. I'm just saying. Let me drink my tea before I say something. So again, in this time, I appreciate the fact that y'all seem like y'all done shut up on the social media pages. She don't need to be up there for 3-4 days. This is how you win this. If you're Marva's PR person, this is free. This ain't gonna cost you nothing. Put the kids first. Because when it comes to FAMU, I'm gonna tell you about FAMU people. We care about 4 or 5 things. We care about the university as a whole. We care about the band. We care about the football team. We care about the kids. And we care about those things that attach us to the university. That's me kind of lumping everything in, right? First and foremost, put the university first. Show what you're doing at the university in a physical manner. How to make it make sense, Key? Change the doorknobs. Go to Tucker Hall. Do something at Tucker Hall. Make Tucker Hall look better. Not that it's bad. Enhance it, right? Go to SBI. Enhance it. Come down here to the law school. Enhance the facilities. And then say, during the Johnson administration, stop that hyphenation stuff. This is some of the stuff that we've already done in 90 days. We've improved this. We've improved that. We've improved this. And give me data points and say, okay, Marva, I see you. Second, put the kids in front. That's not me saying put the kids first. That's 2 different things. Put the kids in front. Lately, whoever's been doing PR for the FAMU website, you're doing a good job because all you're showing us is FAMU students doing good stuff. That's what we need. Stop going on socials and talking and telling us respectfully, they don't want to hear you. Show us the kids. Show us the kids that are getting PhDs in what's the girl physics? Something she did like that. Show us the job numbers. Show like at a time when certain folks are firing people over job numbers. Show me the percentage of FAMU kids that are graduating with jobs. I was listening to Marketplace, and I love NPR. And my favorite NPR podcast is Marketplace featuring Kai Ryssdal. And Kai Ryssdal's my favorite podcast host. They had the president from the the Ohio State University on there. They had him talking. And one of the things he talked about was the amount of students that were graduating that had no debt, that had jobs, or were going to another school after Ohio State. And then he talked about how it affected the economy. There you go. When I'm saying talk about the kids, give me those data points. Talk about the kids that are graduating from FAMU. Talk about the amount of jobs they're getting. Talk about the percentage that are getting jobs that are paying over a certain number. And while that may not be anything you did, give credit to Beard. Give credit to Robinson. But say it happened under your administration. There you go. Because it did. Even if you didn't do it and you didn't earn them stripes, you was there for it to happen and you made sure that you saw it through. Other thing, support the band and the football team. When they win a championship, don't be Tiffany Dawn Sykes giving speeches in the locker room. They don't want to hear you. But support the athletes. All, not just the football team, but all the athletes. But this ain't gonna cost you, but okay, Marva, I'm gonna say it like this. It's gonna cost you about $500 to $1,000. Go to Piggly Wiggly. Get them little frozen pops. Buy like $1,000 worth of those. Donate them to your fall sports. And say, hey, I just want to make sure I introduce myself to y'all. I'm your president, Marva Johnson. Y'all have heard a lot of things about me, but I'm here to support you. Here's a small token of my appreciation. I'm supporting the nutrition program. Here's some frozen treats for you all for today. But here's some other things I'm going to do to support you and all the student athletes. It's going to cost you $1,000. Now, once you run out, you're done. But it's going to cost you $1,000. Is it impermissible? No. Better yet, join the Alumni Association. Join the boosters. Put some money in the game for those organizations so you show up. Tiffany Dawn Sykes did that too. I'll give you that. But the other piece, when you're in front of those kids, guess what? They come back, they talk to us. You see how Nick Dixon ride for Tiffany Dawn Sykes. He ride hard for her because she showed him something when he was a student. You want that same thing. Do the same thing for the band. Now the band, cost you another $1,000 just for the band. But get them something that they can, some water, something they can drink. It's 400 kids. You're going to need about 5,000 water bottles. You donate 5,000 water bottles to the team, to the band. Hey, I'm your president. Y'all have heard a lot of things about me, but I'm here to support the students. My door is always open. I'm donating $5,000. I mean, 5,000 water bottles. Don't put your picture on it. Don't do that. But give them that. All of a sudden, the people on the, because you did it in the hand, but now the fingers are hearing about what you're doing. Is it PR? Yes, but it's not PR where you telling us how good you are. You showed me something. Oh man, Marva over there, she give them to the football team. Oh, for real? Yeah. Now you're in the street committee now. Hey, now you at my level. Oh, look, I'm like Jeezy. I am the streets. Like now you okay. All right, Marva. You doing a little something right there. I see you. Ain't much, but it's something. Then do something to support those constituent groups. Again, join the NAA. You don't have to be a alumnus to do it. And become a lifetime member of the Rattler Boosters. Again, all that's gonna cost you about, in the grand scheme of things, and you got it, you all right. About 10 racks, about $10,000 to get right. But with that $10,000, because all of a sudden, oh, Marva's a life member of the Boosters. Oh man, oh really? Oh, you know, oh she did the affiliate for the NAA. Oh really? Because then that clique over there, they're rocking with you. Then the boosters rocking with you. Then the football team talking good about you. Or the athletes in general. Then the band talking good about you. All of a sudden, you win in the culture, and it costs you 10 racks. And support the things we care about. Don't you ain't got to be a homecoming. You ain't got to be there. Matter of fact, convocation, don't do that. Outsource that. You can be there in person, but do a little video recording. You know, hey y'all, I'm here. Just want to make sure I did a video record. Just let y'all know one FAMU, blah blah blah. Boom, you out. You ain't say nothing. You ain't have to get booed. You good. Same thing for homecoming. Florida Classic. Do your thug thizzle. I'm just saying. Like, hello. Honestly, if you really want to be a real one, donate 300. That's a big number. I wouldn't do that. Double that to like 20 or 30 and support the nutrition program. And hey, you ain't got to buy all the this and that. You can buy apples, bananas, fruits. Apples are cheap. Bananas are cheap. No weird stuff. Like, I'm just saying. Thank you. Show the students you care. Go to their events. Y'all, you know, FAMU's got the Essential Theater up there. Go to practice. Because you know what the kids are going to remember? The kids who are practicing? Man, Marvin showed up to our practice. For real? Go to the gospel choir and just sit there. And literally do this. Have your computer. Sit there. Work. And watch the kids. You may not be paying them no attention. You might even be listening. But just sitting in the room, your presence matters. Be there. Get a dental school. Fix that 15 million hole in pharmacy. Hello. See how all of a sudden, appreciate it, little baby. That's something that speaks to a point. Hey, I found 15 mil for the pharmacy. I got that. How about this? You used to work at Spectrum? Get us some stuff at the J School. Like, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, Chris. I learned it from the Jeff Cameron show. But real talk, that's just, it ain't even common sense. But again, I know the culture. I'm from, I joke with y'all a lot saying I'm in the streets. I hear a lot of stuff. I'm from Tallahassee. Tallahassee's small. Like, I was talking to my I don't know what to call Omar. But he's my frat brother. But Omar borderline my dean of pleasures. Like almost like assistant dean of pleasures. Omar's we talking. He says, yeah, man, my cousin Casey came down. Bruh? What's her last name? He said her last name. And I was like, y'all same last name as yours? He's like, yeah. I was like, dude, I went to high school with her. All of a sudden, I've known this girl since she was in 9th grade. I think I was in 10th grade. Oh, Jamel White? Man, I love that couple, man. Oh, they're so, all of a sudden we're glowing and gushing. We're talking over how great of people they are. He didn't know I knew his cousin like that. Tallahassee's that small. You need somebody to know the culture. Like, hello. We have our own network. Can you enhance it? TV 20. We know Joe Bullard is coming back. Can you get Joe Bullard up there? Like, use your connections and your non-connections to speak to our special interests. Because I promise you, as a FAMU grad, FAMU lover, and I've said this on here, I've said it I said the earshot of her husband. I don't dislike Marva. I don't know her. I don't love the process, but I'm not cheering for her to fail, because if Marva fails, FAMU likely fails, and I don't want that. So I need you to succeed, because you may only be there for a year, maybe 2. But if you're there for 5-10 years, I want to come back to a FAMU I at least recognize. Like, I don't want it to be a conservative think tank. That's just being real. I don't mind conservative professors. I welcome that. Be real with you. Part of being woke is being able to say that I can listen to both sides of the fence, and I can learn from what you're doing, and I can learn from what you're doing, and then I can apply it to my own self. Like, I don't need a homogeneous place of thinking. We shouldn't all be thinking the same thing. That's dangerous. We need to be able to learn from people who come from different situations. I'm from North Florida. I'm from Tallahassee. The kids who came from Miami, man, it was the coolest thing to hear them talk, what their reality was, what my reality was, and then when we kind of blended it together. Because I'm being real with y'all. I had an education conference about 2 weeks ago with the state of Florida. Boy, I promise you, I thought they were about to tell us to reteach history. I was so apprehensive. Y'all know, one of the instructors was like, I said, how do you teach this like this? Because I got classes where I have 4 different languages. How do I teach a concept in 4 different languages at the same time? Because at a certain point, it just becomes classroom management. And she looked at me, she was like, I didn't realize you deal with that. She's like, where I'm from, we deal with 1 language and maybe 2. I was like, yeah, But and she's from Waukesha County. But because I shared my experience, we grew. Like, just saying. New Park Garage. Thank you. Can you build? Okay. Can you blow that one up and start anew and build a bigger one? Build a better one. Can you get the money to fix Bragg Stadium? Again, all of a sudden, we've gone from these big picture fix FAMU to now we get down to the special interest projects. And I think that's some of what you got to do, Marva. So, again, you can turn the social media comments on. They're going to talk bad about you. I'm just saying. They're going to talk bad about you because they don't know you. And a lot of people don't like you. They don't like how you got there. They don't like what you represent. And they don't like the people that are leaving. They don't like that some of these people, Jamal Sawell, Dr. Palm, the person that's over the FAMU Foundation, these people are leaving. And there's one commonality that we see, and it's not your fault. That always happens. Okay, that is your fault. But anytime there's change, people are going to leave. But they're not looking at it like that. They're looking at it as like, this lady didn't become the president, man. These folks leaving because they don't want to work with her. Sorry. It's not fair, but it's the game. And you have to create the relationships, because if you don't create relationships with FAMU people, FAMU will become the worst hell you've ever had in your life. Because as loving as us rattlers can be, the mascot is a rattler for a reason. Snakes are cold-blooded. And especially with a snake rattler, they're territorial. And FAMU people are very territorial. And when we don't like you, we will strike. And that doesn't mean somebody's going to hit you, but emotionally, we will tear you down to your core for the simple fact that we don't like you and we don't rock with you. And anytime your name come up, it won't be pretty. So I can't protect you from that. I can't. But what I can give you is this. Meet us where we're at. Start bringing in stakeholders we trust, because that's important too. Like that board of trustees, we don't trust them. Sorry, they betrayed our trust. Like, not saying don't talk to them, but find people we trust and work with it. And you ain't got to call me, but lean on people who are going to be willing to give you the truth. Because if we're being real about this, that's where the issue is. We feel lied to. We feel betrayed. And now you're the person we have. I got to work with what I got. So now, the people that are willing to work with what they have, work with them. Find out the game and play it. Because in the grand scheme of things, you don't plan on staying at FAMU 10 years. You don't. And if you do, it's to come down to the law school, be president emeritus, and get that check. That's it. You're going to do these 4-5 years and get up out the paint. That's it. And 9 times out of 10, if you do it right, you'll say, man, we wasn't rocking with her, but she did all right. But if you F us over, you and that board of trustees going to catch a special kind of hell. And Mr. I'm only here for 16 months, 15 now. I ain't going to be able to help. So, just saying, they really can't. Because some of them ain't going to be there either. All right, y'all. Thursday, we're gonna look. We got some recruiting offers that came in. We're gonna reach out to some of our folks, see if we can get some of these interviews going before the season going. But y'all already know, man. Look, I always appreciate y'all. Again, appreciate your prayers, well thoughts. For those who didn't hear, I did pass the Feely. It wasn't anything I did on my own. A lot of studying, but also a lot of connections, experiences some with some great rattlers. Shout out Lisa James, principal at Apopka Memorial. She's a rattler and a Wildcat. Eddie Foster, my principal at Memorial. Robert Walden, and a lot of other people. Miss Kennan, she's a teacher. She's retired at Springwood Elementary. But you know, I owe a lot to a lot of people. Shout out to my pops and my parents. They support the dream, even when it costs. So, but just want to make sure I thank everybody who prayed for me, who, you know, sent out a word, because the prayers of the righteous availeth much, so saith the Lord. And there's the fruit. And just like I told you about Marva, I don't just sell the product. That's the product I'm delivering. All right, y'all. I'll catch up with y'all. Man, we got to talk with our HBCU digital people, man. We got to make sure we got some things working, man. We working some things behind the scenes. We will be seeing about doing this not PR campaign. I saw a PR campaign. Preseason event at the Boosters. So y'all know, see if we can work something up with the Rattler Boosters, ONG Strike Zone, and potentially with the Fang Exchange, man. We're trying to get a little something going, man. We're trying to get a nice little mashup going for y'all, especially for the home games. We'll see about the OBC. I'll talk to them about that. I will be down there. If I have anything to say about it, my credentials got approved. So appreciate OBC. So if the Lord agrees, I'll be down there. All right, y'all. For everybody here at HBC Digital Network, Adam and the whole crew, the team, wifey, and the kids. Y'all already know what's up and what it's always going to be. Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal.
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.